Oh man, I'm falling back asleep, but as soon as I got off, I was like, oh, is that what the I don't want to grow up message was? It's like, if you listen to the previous one, to me, I guess maybe because I am a parent, to me, it was like, oh my God, it's more horrifying for the parent and more challenging for the parent to hear or realize that they have been the cause of the enmeshment and they have sucked their kid dry, right? When they cling and hang on too long, when they don't allow their child to be independent and strong and live their own life, when they don't do the quote tough love, the harder thing, and they don't cut the cord soon enough, then they're actually depleting the child. And so that's how I was looking at it, and how it seemed like, in my opinion, harder for the parent than the child. But when I got off, I did hear like, I don't want to grow up. And so it was like, oh, I imagine, I guess it can be really hard for the child as well. If the child's always been pampered and catered to and weren't given the tough love and the understanding, then they want to cling on to the enmeshment just as much as the parent. They just don't realize in doing so, they're only depleting themselves and never giving themselves the opportunity to choose and decide and feel and understand and use their tool for themselves, to actually think on their own, to experience life and the consequences so that they can decipher and decide for oneself, independent of how it will affect the entanglement of those around them. So if you're no longer living for the entanglement, the enmeshment, the mess, but able to truly stand strong in oneself and decipher, that's a benefit, but they can't see it because they've always been enmeshed and tangled and ensnarled in the mess and being depleted without even recognizing the depletion, and confusing it with nourishment, confusing the cycle and the entanglement with love, not understanding that that's not actually the highest vibration. That's not actually love. That's codependency and enmeshment, and disguised as love, where it's no longer actually benefiting or nourishing. It's now depleting and entangled and painful and tug of war. And it's when you know no different, and you've been told, and it's been disguised as nourishment, as protection, and like it's like babying and pampering. It's like you know no better because you haven't felt those consequences, or what it feels like to think on your own and then get untangled from that and then start to choose. And so it's like they've never been given that luxury, but because it is a luxury, they don't see it as one because they've never felt it or experienced it. So it's like it's beyond their comprehension. They haven't been able to bust through all that to get to that pot of gold. They haven't gotten there. And so when I got off, I did hear, I don't want to grow up. So it's like they don't understand that. And so it's like they don't even know to fight through that to get to the other side, because they think they're in comfort. It is comfort. It's the idea of getting out of one's comfort zone. But they're comfortable there because it's what they know and what they think they like, because it's almost been programmed into them to think they should like it because that's all they know. Can you hear this confusion and delusion? And so it is what happens. And so remember that was coming through a few days ago about, or was it, I think I uploaded a few days ago. It was probably a couple months ago that it was coming through about, I don't want to grow up. I kept hearing that, and I was tapping into somebody who was having that trouble and not understanding it was a privilege to grow up. It's a privilege to untangle, to cut the cord, to stand on one's own, to think and decide and decipher for oneself. Independent, that's a luxury. To choose for oneself and not say, well, I'm doing this because of so-and-so, which is almost blaming them as well. No, decide on your own. I'm capable and competent and strong on my own. Don't blame me. Don't drag me into your decisions, your mess, your choices. Make them on your own. Take accountability. Choose for yourself. Right? That's a luxury. That's a kindness. It's seen as cruel sometimes. And it's like, that's not cruel. That's kind. You get to choose on your own, independent of me. Don't blame me and don't drag me in and don't, say, oh, well, I'm doing it because I know it'll. No, I'm good. You don't have to count me in. So now, can you stand on your own 2 feet? Or are you still using me as the excuse? It's tough, but it's a luxury. Oh, hopefully you can hear that. I really need to go back to sleep.
Thanks so much for tuning in and listening. You can now purchase an audio journey with me using the link below.